Hello, YouTube family, and welcome to Watts Wednesday. I am Texas Beach Mom, or Mama Robin if you prefer. So, we've been talking a lot about whether or not he was a narcissist, and some people still disagree with that, and that's fine. So, we're going to go another route tonight. We're going to watch a video by Crime Catalyst, and it's called More Dark Things by Nicole Kessinger. We've already covered part 1. This is part 2. So we're going to do a movie night tonight. Anyhow, let me get that started.
Hi. It's me.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi.
Christopher.
Call me back. Bye.
So what happened is Chris thinks he's in love and, whatever, he's doing whatever men do. And he's like, I'm in love. This woman was targeting him, conjured together, bound together in order to ritualize his marriage. Sent to Chris to create a circumstance with which to feed on.
A woman has a desire for a man. She creates a ritual over her menstrual and then clandestinely feeds it to the man. They have an endless longing to be with them. They miss them terribly, and they can't stop. They can't get away from them.
Witchcraft can be extreme with a ridiculous amount of herbs that have been specifically created and charged at a certain planetary hour in order to add into a particular food, in order to manifest a particular intention that you will then eat in a ritual circumstance.
This is a spiritual possession. She puts herself into a state of, I must have him.
Kessinger was involved in more esoteric and sinister practices. Some have even suggested that she owns a New Age shop where she might have engaged in practices like tarot card reading, crystal healing, and other forms of modern-day or mythically horrendous. The OTO is not just another secret society. It has deep roots in dark rituals, arcane knowledge, and a pursuit of power that goes beyond the material world.
We've already talked a lot about the dark things in the Watts caves.
If you're looking for trouble,
We've talked about this creepy reminder and the sort of premonition of what Chris Watts had done to his family. American Horror Stories, a TV show with a weird obsession with pregnant women, and every season is based off of real-life serial. We've talked about Nicole Kessinger possibly being a witch. Her love for flowers and crystals and basically all of the witchy things. We've all seen her weird hand movements and long spider-like fingers and toes, which again, I'm not making fun of her. It's just very strange to me that people with long fingers and toes are believed to have strong intuition and be more receptive to psychic experiences. And there are many, many other strange and unusual things surrounding Nicole Kessinger. And those are the things that we're going to talk about in this video. Get you some popcorn, some snacks, grab a drink, and get comfortable. And let's just dive right in.
Controversial subjects and theories, opinions, and beliefs expressed are not
In the off chance that there's someone watching this video that may not be familiar with this case, here's a quick rundown. Chris and Shanann Watts appeared to be a happy couple. Along with their 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, they appeared to be living the American dream.
Yep. Is there 1 or 2 babies in my belly? Chris and I are hoping for 1.
But around the same time that Shanann got pregnant with her 3rd child, Chris started having an affair with a co-worker.
So, maybe met her at work and then just kept it that way.
Nicole Kessinger.
As we've all discussed numerous times, most people believe that he met her way before this. But that she is basing it on what he said. We're taking it from that point of view.
Kessinger was no ordinary mistress, and she very quickly became a thorn in Chris and Shanann's marriage.
It was just, this man already has a life. Should I go build my own?
with somebody who hasn't done that yet. And then
She was able to do what no one thought was possible. Not only did she cause Chris to distance himself from his wife, but she actually caused him to turn against his life as a family man.
I think if we had a time machine, I don't think this would happen again.
After spending just a few short weeks with Nicole Kessinger, Chris Watts almost magically was transformed into a whole different person. Long gone was the loving, devoted, caring, patient, and supportive husband and father that Shanann had married.
I didn't take control of the situation. It was like the situation controlled me.
The problem was that Nicole Kessinger didn't want kids, and she was really bothered by the fact that Chris had already been married and already had a family of his own.
Children, and he's got his own kids, and that makes you kind of uncomfortable because you'd like to have your own family. Put that in context for me. Is that a fair statement the way I'm saying it?
I mean, I guess. It wasn't anything I said to him, though.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Did you ever say anything to him about,
Never.
anything about his kids being a problem? Anything about his wife being a problem?
Never.
Oh yeah, and she's also one of the biggest liars that we've ever seen. Chris Watts was very aware of the things that Nicole Kessinger...
But we also must keep in mind, while she's pointing out that Nicole Kessinger is one of the biggest liars we've ever seen, he is also one of the biggest liars we've ever seen.
was concerned with involving their relationship.
I always try to be self-inclusive with them. And even with her, when I was talking to her, it wasn't that his kids were an issue.
For some unknown reason, Chris Watts had this intense, uncontrollable desire to make Nicole happy.
This all happened so quickly, didn't it?
It was insane quickly. Like, I didn't, she even told me, she would never, in a normal relationship, she would never have somebody over her house, more than, once or twice a week, but she...
After committing his crimes, and still to this day, Chris Watts has no clear answer as to why he did what he did, except to say that he thought it would be easier to be with Nicole.
Were you just going to go home and be report to the police that your family's gone, or?
Once, I had no idea what was going to happen, after everything, then I just wish that that would just go away. I just wish I almost I know it's hard I know it's wrong to say I wish I'd never met somebody. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like I said, this wasn't something some criminal minds.
Well thought out.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The facts of what happened in this case are truly horrific.
Just thinking about an oil tank just makes me want to throw up.
But what I think people find just as disturbing is the lack of understanding and the notion of something dark and unnatural. A sense of darkness that deviates from the normal or natural order. Something unusual and murky, secretive and mystifying. Many believe that something was Nicole Kessinger.
I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me. And I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on ticket. It's done.
Lordy.
On track with Factor. Fresh, never frozen.
Why do dark things seem to surround her? Everything about her, everything she shared with Chris Watts, has some sort of symbolism or ideas based in mystery and secrecy. Why was she talking to Chris Watts about all these mysterious things, like the crystals, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and the volcanoes? I have a theory that I'll share a little later in this video. Let's talk about her name. Nicole Lee Kessinger. The name Lee, spelt L-E-E, is considered a gender-neutral name, but it is typically used more for boys. The alternate spelling would be L-E-I-G-H for a girl name. So this is a little bit unique. The name Lee has a spiritual meaning that embraces nature. And it's a little weird that this name is shared by so many people in this case. Christopher Lee Watts, and I believe Chris's dad's name was Ronnie Lee Watts, and Chris and Shanann were planning to name their little baby boy Nico Lee Watts. And this is just an example that points to the fact that Nicole Kessinger had a deep connection to the natural world. The name Lee holds profound spiritual significance. It symbolizes a deep connection to nature and its cycle of growth and renewal. The name embodies the essence of fertility, reflecting the rhythms of nature. Additionally, it suggests that those bearing the name are watched over and guided by higher powers. The name Lee encourages a harmonious relationship with nature, emphasizing the importance of living in balance with the environment. This connection to nature fosters a sense of grounding and stability, essential for personal and spiritual well-being. It kind of sounds like the code that witches live by.
If you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete.
There are so many strange and dark things surrounding this case. This family lived in an area called Eerie, Colorado. And if you followed this case, then you know that there are quite a few eerie details in their story. Both Chris and his mistress Nicole worked for a company called Anadarko that happened to produce 666,000 barrels of oil daily, and you can see the number 666 in the coordinates of the oil containers that Chris Watts put his two daughters in. The song used on the sneak peek that we saw in the body cam footage is called The Playground by the Riggs. The show was called American Horror Story, which seemed to have this weird obsession with pregnant women with really sadistic storylines. What's even creepier is that every season of this show is based on real-life serial. But I want to tell you guys, the very first thing that I ever saw that made me start to question whether Nicole Kessinger really was into some voodoo black magic. It was this particular picture with her holding a crystal up in front of this particular place. Of course Nicole Kessinger would visit a place that's said to be magical. A place that left behind more questions than answers. Secret, ancient ruins. In fact, if you ever happen to visit this place, there's a good chance that you may not even get to see the view because it is often hidden in the clouds.
The stone city of Machu Picchu is one of the most fascinating archaeological sites on the planet. Located northwest of Cusco, Peru, Machu Picchu is a testament to the power and ingenuity of the Inca people. Machu Picchu, located at the center of this once expansive empire, is one of the few well-preserved remnants of the Inca civilization. Built around the mid-15th century, Machu Picchu is a stunning example of the Incas' engineering feats. The Inca constructed Machu Picchu's palaces, temples, terraces, and infrastructure using stone, and without the help of wheels or tools made of steel or iron. The stones of Machu Picchu were cut so precisely that they snugly fit together. Located on two fault lines, Machu Picchu often experiences earthquakes, but because of the stone's exceptional cut and fit, they bounce during tremors and then are able to easily fall back into position. These engineering marvels have preserved Machu Picchu's remarkable condition for over 500 years. Machu Picchu's purpose is still a mystery to many archaeologists. Some theorize that it may have served as a ceremonial site, a military stronghold, or a retreat for nobility. The site's geographic layout may be significant in another way. Many of both the man-made and natural structures appear to align with astronomical events. But in the early 16th century, only about 100 years after it was built, Machu Picchu was abandoned. And since the Inca had no written language, no records exist to explain the exact purpose of the site. And today, visitors from around the world come to pay homage to this piece of history.
Okay, so some come to visit to pay homage or to pay their respects, but do they normally bring their crystals with them? Nicole appears to be charging her crystal in order to absorb and store energy. This would allow her crystal to operate at its fullest potential because the energy held within the crystal can be depleted or negatively influenced over time. Charging is believed to restore this energy, making it more powerful and effective for its intended use. There's an idea that the ancient ruins hold a residual power that can be harnessed to charge crystals. That might involve placing the crystal on a designated altar, activating a specific mechanism, or completing a ritual within the ruins. Practitioners or witches associate ancient ruins with powerful energies. They might visit such sites to meditate or connect with the energies they believe are present, charging their crystals in the process. Some believe the site's location and orientation of its structures were influenced by the nearby holy mountains. The Incas believed that their gods could communicate with them and directly influence their lives. They believed in honoring ancestors, who they thought had a special connection with the gods and could help guide their destiny. The Incas, who lived in this mysterious place that Nicole Kessinger visited, had a lot of strange practices and ceremonies. They believed in objects having magical powers and worshipped nature. A fire was kindled and corn was thrown on the coals and toasted. A priest would say, "Eat this, Lord's son, so that you will know that we are your children." Llamas were sacrificed. Pieces of their flesh were thrown onto the fire, and the bones were powdered for ritual use. This was done at every important occasion. Animals like llamas and guinea pigs, certain foods, coca leaves, chicha, and sometimes, in extreme need, humans were sacrificed. It was important for the women and children to be pure without blemish, and they fed the children beforehand so they wouldn't enter the presence of God hungry and crying.
Great news, Spectrum Internet customers. Now you can try
Let's go ahead. Fast
Spectrum
forward to
Mobile
it. Skip
risk-free
it.
for a full year at no cost
Commercial,
to you. Bring your own
commercial.
device and
Nicole sending Chris this photo and knowing that she had recently been to this mysterious place makes me question her purpose in going there. Did she charge her crystal that she carried around with her everywhere she went? Did she do any rituals? Connect with her ancestors? Did she collect items like dirt, rocks, or water to use in a spell? Interestingly enough, Machu Picchu being located in the mountains and in the Amazon jungle provided access to rare and valuable items, including coca leaves and other hallucinogenic plants. These resources can be used in ritual spells. Just a few hours before the murder, Nicole Kessinger was filling Chris's head with a lot of information about all these mysterious places. At 3:56 p.m. on Sunday, Chris Watts Googled the Paracutin volcano. This volcano grew unnaturally fast from a farmer's field in Mexico. The lightning generated from the volcanic rock 3 people. This is the only volcano in history to be witnessed and studied from its birth. A local man stated, "When night began to fall, we heard noises like the surge of the sea, and red flames of fire rose into the dark sky. A rain like fireworks fell to the ground." Chris Watts became like a fiery volcano, secretly raging with bitterness, resentment, fuming with anger. The heat kept building inside like magma building up beneath the Earth's surface. Increasing pressure came from multiple directions. The hatred for his wife, coming from his side of the family, combined with the incredible influence and coercion of his badgering mistress, became a source of energy, like a volatile chemical, flammable material, or pressurized gas. How long could this raging energy keep accumulating and held steady?
The only problem I'm having with this particular theory right here, like, in general, this one theory we're working on, is this theory is going to try to imply that, or to me, it sounds like it's going to imply that he did this on like a spur of the moment, when he has already said many times in different interviews that this was something he planned. This is not a moment of rage. This was premeditated. He has said it. Other people who have talked about this case has mentioned that it was premeditated. So it wasn't like it was a moment of where rage built up and he just couldn't take it no more. But let's continue and see what else she's got to say. Like, I could be wrong.
While being stored in a confined space. Kessinger was stirring the pot of combustible dust. Each flammable, fine particle created a highly explosive mixture. All that was needed was that final trigger to activate a spark to ignite. When detonated, the energy is released in a rapid chemical reaction, producing a shock wave, causing a violent and explosive eruption. Rage that he'd never felt before. Anger that he never knew existed inside him. So angry that he could have anyone in front of him that morning and felt justified in doing it.
At some point there was a statement about rage. Do you feel like you were in a rage at that point?
That's the only way I can describe it. Honestly, I was shaking. I didn't know what had happened. I still wasn't in that right state of mind. I don't think like I was in control of what I could think or what I could do at that point in time.
Now listen to this. Aside from the fact that Chris Watts erupted like a raging active volcano, you'll never guess the harmful effects of volcanic eruption to people. Inhaling the fumes and gases can cause suffocation and suffocate.
Suffocation.
And you guys already know that that's the exact cause of Shanann, Bella, and Cece passing away.
Like you were in a rage at that point?
That's the only way I can describe it, honestly. Like a snap. Like why can't I just let go? Didn't. No, I didn't. I just let
Was
go.
it feeling like it was in motion and you just couldn't stop it?
Yeah, it was just like, it's kind of like in my head, or like in the back of my head, that was going to happen. Just like at the end of the conversation, it's just like, that's what I just wish I could have.
That's what he says in this interview, but like I said in other interviews, because I think that was his original plan, was to play it off like they ran away from home. Oh my God, my wife, my children, they ran away from home. Then once he was caught, I think his next plan was, well, I was in a rage and I snapped. But in many interviews after that, he talks about how he thought about doing this for a long time. And again, I take in consideration that he lies a lot. He lies all the time. But he also sprinkled truth in with the lies. Like he does a little dash of truth here, a little dash of truth there. So unfortunately, we're not ever going to know the exact truth. That's part of the problem with this case, is we're never going to know the whole truth. Never, ever, ever. So this is also why I bring you different takes on whether or not, why he did it. Was he a narcissist? Was it something else? Was it magic? Was it dark things? I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. If you want to watch the whole thing. Come on, Robin. Use your brain. We're going to leave that one here. For a second. Need to clean. Anyway, we're going to leave that one there. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's Crime Catalyst. It's Dark Things Part 2. I think she made it like a week ago. So if you go to her channel, that'll be there. A recent one. Matter of fact, I think it's her most recent one. And even if you don't agree with her theories, like I don't wholly agree with her theories, the one thing I like about her videos is I find that she does a lot of research. Like on this Machu Picchu thing, I can't even say it right. With the volcanoes and all that stuff. At the very least, at the very minimum, I find her stuff interesting and entertaining. Whether I agree with it or not, it's a whole different thing. I do find it very interesting. I do find her very entertaining. So, with that being said, I do enjoy her videos. I subscribe to her. I like her videos. I've seen some very interesting thoughts and theories behind her work. So again, I suggest you go to her channel, show her some love, watch this video in whole because I'm not going to tonight. It's almost an hour long. Watch her video. See the whole thing. If you find that you're agreeing with it, that's great. You know, everybody has different opinions. And if you don't agree with it, but at the very least, find it interesting, intriguing, entertaining, you know, give her a like. And if you really like it, subscribe. So, I think that kind of wraps up tonight. I wanted to cover this because if I'm wrong and he's not, there's other possibilities. You know, it's been discussed that I don't think he snapped. I think this was premeditated. If he did snap and he did erupt like a volcano, then, I mean, maybe he did. Either way, what it comes down to at the end of the day, Shanann didn't do this to herself. She's not the reason she died. She's not the reason the kids died. Even if you don't like Shanann or don't agree with Shanann, she did not cause this herself. She didn't deserve to die. Period. So whether it was narcissism, witchcraft, plain crazy, whatever it was, she didn't deserve this. She didn't cause it. She didn't deserve it. He did it. And he is where he is supposed to be. And whether Nicole, I don't think she helped with the killings. I do think she helped dispose the bodies. I believe that with all my heart. But she might not have. She might not have been there at all. She might have helped with the killings. She might have did the killings herself. I mean, there's numerous things. Nobody is ever going to fully know the truth. So, let's keep that in mind. Nobody's ever going to know the truth. Too much conditioner in my hair. It's all weird looking. But that's all we're going to do tonight. Friday night, we'll be doing a Friday Night Live at 9 p.m. Central. We're going to go back over the Lady Bird Lake because that Ford Sanderson has some really interesting videos as it keeps going. And I think he can explain the case way better than I can. I mean, especially from a journalist point of view. God, he's awfully young though to be a journalist. But anyhow, so that's it for tonight. Friday night will be Lady Bird Lake. So yeah, we wrap it up. Go watch Crime Catalyst. Go see what she's got to say. She's got a lot of interesting theories on this case. Go watch her other stuff. Like I said, she's got some really good theories. And she puts a lot of work into her research. And I find some of her videos kind of comical. Not like, haha, like, haha, she's stupid or whatever. But like, that's cute. The way she just did that, that's cute. Like, I have respect for what she does. I have respect for her sense of humor. I think it's a unique sense of humor. However, that's it for tonight. So, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary. Know that I love you and I care about you. And be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. You know, it's a world out there. So, y'all be good. And I will see some of you Friday night, and the rest of you I will see next Wednesday.